Welcome to Economics and Politics. I just want to talk about government borrowing, okay? Government doesn't have any money of its own. Governments don't have any money. The only money they have is taxpayer money. And the only money that they can get on top of that is borrowing. In other words, if they tax you to the hilt to pay for the things that they think we want, then okay, they'll tax us for it, and we should be grateful, yeah. But having said that, if they are pursuing all kinds of policies that we disagree with, then we might disagree with that level of taxation. But if governments spend more than they can tax, that's when they borrow. This government has been brought in record borrowing. Well done. That's ultimately taxpayer money that will have to be paid back. I believe Rachel Reeves did alter the fiscal rules to some extent in order to allow her to borrow more money than she would not ordinarily be allowed to borrow. But then again, you can change those rules. It's fluid. Ostensibly, governments should not borrow more than 3% of GDP. That was one of the fiscal rules, for instance, for Britain when it was in the EU. Not that Germany and France stuck to that when they wanted to borrow more, but yeah, Britain did, and I've got a couple of stories on that which almost make me want to cry, relating to our levels of borrowing. That's for another day. The borrowing at the moment is 40 billion, I believe, an extra 40 billion. There's supposed to be a 22 billion pound black hole. That needs discussing. I don't see any evidence of that as such. But having said that, just about all the possible borrowing and taxation that Reeves has brought in is now spent. In other words, there's very little headroom. She is going to have to resign because she can't borrow anymore, and she can't tax us anymore. Or she can try, but she will have to resign if she does. So this is a nightmare for Rachel Reeves. It's a nightmare for the Labour Party, because who's going to come in and change this? The damage has already been done. The damage to confidence, consumer confidence, has worked its trick. Business confidence is absolutely shot at. There isn't a single business out there, I believe, that thinks that Labour is doing a good job. The economics of what Rachel Reeves has visited on us is completely self-inflicted and came completely at odds with economic theory and, well, economic practice. If we look at past years, economics really exists. If you borrow money, it has to be paid back. Britain looks like bursting through its borrowing, its levels of borrowing. That will put up the price of borrowing. So interest rates are going to go higher and higher. They're going to stay higher as long as we have inflation. And Rachel Reeves has given us all manner of reasons for having higher inflation, which I've mentioned in previous posts. It's a nightmare. I would say brace yourselves, because next 12 months is not going to be pretty. Rachel Reeves will be gone.